Good evening. It is Wednesday, March 13th, 2024, and welcome to the Town of Carmel. This is our Town Board work session. We have 10 items on the agenda. I call this meeting to order, and I ask if everyone please rise and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we'd all please remain standing for a moment of silence for our men and women who serve this country and keep us safe. Thank you. We are honored to have Putnam County Legislator Erin Crowley from District 9 to give us a quick update on the state of the county.
On the state of the
Oh, the state of the state. No?
I'm going to give you a legislative update on what
Your
we're doing
district?
in Putnam County. The state of the county was last week. You were there.
You don't know that I was actually there.
Thank you for having me.
Incognito.
So on March 1st, shopping in Putnam County offers a unique opportunity for cost savings when buying clothing and footwear priced under $110. Whether you opt for online shopping or visit local stores within the county, the elimination of sales tax on these items over the next 2 years presents a significant advantage, fostering fairness and reducing regressive economic impacts. So that's one thing we recently passed. I have an update on Fair Street. The Fair Street project has been initiated. The County Department of Public Works has commenced tree clearing and is awaiting final approval from NYSEG to proceed with the utility work. The subsequent phase will involve soliciting bids for construction encompassing stormwater drainage, culverts, safety enhancements near Carmel High School, including a turning lane and a crosswalk. Sidewalks will be introduced in high-traffic pedestrian zones with lighting upgrades also facilitated by NYSEG. Road widening in specific sections and installation of guide rails will necessitate a complete overhaul and repaving. This comprehensive project spans from Route 52 and Fair Street to the intersection of Fair Street and Hillendale, with an estimated completion timeline of 2 years. The anticipated budget stands at $24.7 million, with 80% funded by the federal government and the remaining 20% by the county. Efforts are underway to secure a grant to cover the county's share of expenses. Regular progress updates will be provided as these projects advance. I just have some other fun little things, which I will provide to you guys, and you can put on your website if you would like. There are some spring sales for seedlings and trees through the DEC, which I have a website included, and then Cornell Cooperative Extension, as they do every year through Water and Soil. Offer all kinds of trees, shrubs, and perennials. You can order them online and pick them up at Veterans Memorial at the Upper Park. The Putnam County Department of Health will be having a free rabies vaccination clinic on Saturday, March 23rd from 10 to 12 at Veterans Memorial also, for your cats, dogs, and any other animals they'll accept. And also, again, if you didn't get a chance to watch the state of the county, you can go onto Putnam County's website and stream and watch it there for any new initiatives that might be proposed for this year. I also did know that we had a constituent at the firehouse last week ask about the trees, and that goes back to the Fair Street project of clearing the way for construction. So that's the answer to that, and I will email her on that as well.
Thank
Do you
you.
have any questions for me?
I have a question. Can you please explain to us what the Municipal Partnership Initiative program that was proposed by our county executive during the 2024 budget?
Councilman Kearns, yes, I can. So the Municipal Partnership Incentive Program is also going along with the Community Assistance Program proposed by the county executive during the 2024 budget process, whereby the administration proposed $250,000 per program, totaling $500,000. This competitive grant program would have helped fund municipal projects throughout Putnam County to go to the local municipalities. Although I voted for them in the legislature's budget review process, it was ultimately voted down. So what was decided was to combine the funds from both proposed programs, which totaled $500,000, to offset the tax levy to lower the tax burden for those who ultimately pay for it. And I did bring up during the legislators committee, during our committee, that based on the 2020 census taken in Putnam County, there are approximately 34,915 households. If you divide the 500,000 by the number of households, it comes out to $14.32 per home that would come off your taxes, your property taxes. So to me, I felt that the municipalities, it would have been a nominal amount, and there would have been a greater savings for the municipalities to receive the funds and explore the grant process further, as I feel the money would have been used more effectively towards crucial projects that have been left unfunded and provide a greater benefit to the residents. It also would have been easier to apply for, much like the ARPA funds, which are federally, they need federal guidance. The budget that was provided was the lowest tax rate proposed in 15 years, moving from 3.12% down to 2.87%. With this vote to not take on these two programs, it brought it down 2.2% to 2.85, essentially 2 cents per $1,000 of assessment per household. In the end, I did vote for the budget as a whole, as it provided a tremendous tax benefit to the residents, and hope that programs like this can be reconsidered by my colleagues in the future. Do you have any other questions for me?
So
Councilman
were you
Kearns?
the only one that was for this program?
I'd have to look back at the vote. I believe there was another 2 legislators that voted for this program.
So what did they decide, what avenue did they decide to go with instead of this program?
So I just explained to you that they decided to
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
propose
it.
to give back to the taxpayers.
And how much was that?
It was, so originally the 2 programs combined were $500,000. And again, if you divide for the whole county,
Yeah.
right, both these programs, $250,000, that would have been a grant program that you would apply for infrastructure, depending on each year it was going to change.
Yeah, so how much does each household
Per
get?
household, it would have come to about $14.32.
So the legislators thought it was a better idea to give each household $14 than instead of giving the municipalities a chance at $250,000 to improve local infrastructure.
If that was what the grant, because the grant was, this was never voted to move forward, so I don't know exactly what the,
Parameters?
I don't know what it would have been, the initiative would have been for the year. It would have had to been vetted and discussed. I think it was a.
Did we ever get to that point? Did we
No,
ever,
I
why?
didn't. The legislators decided that it would be better to give back directly to the taxpayers and save them.
So they
the
thought that the
$500.
$14 would be more beneficial than letting the town improve their infrastructure with a set amount grant that could potentially be more savings to each taxpayer, correct? That's what I'm hearing, is I just want to make sure that that's what I'm hearing.
I can't speak for them. I can speak for how I voted, and I voted.
No, I
in
understand how
favor
you
of
voted. I
those
just want to
2
make sure that I'm
programs.
hearing that correctly,
You
that the
are-
vote, that the legislators
Yes, so
went
it
that
would come
route.
back to each household, $14.32 approximately, based on the 2020 census, would come back to each household in their taxes.
Interesting. Now I can see why they wouldn't want to come here and face us. Interesting. Thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
No, thank you for coming.
I
No,
can
thank
leave
you.
this with Kevin for any of the links, if anybody's interested. And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming. I just want to say that we've reached out several times to the county legislators to come here and do exactly what Erin just did tonight. And she was the only one that was willing to show up here tonight without any excuse. And I want to say thank you, and everyone here in Carmel, even though you don't represent everyone in Carmel, everyone appreciates what you did tonight, so thank you.
Thank you for coming. Do we have any residents that would like to get up and speak? Or a business owner? Business owner? No? Seeing as how there are no public comments, we'll move on to our first item. First, I ask the board to review the town board minutes from February 21st meeting that Alice Daly was so kind to email to you. Now, Mary Ann Maxwell, our first item, our town comptroller, consider January and February 2024 budget revisions. Mary Ann?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So for January and February of 2024, I'm going to go over the budget revisions in the general fund first. Number one, we're providing for surgery settlements and erroneous assessments. We get something from the county with tax changes throughout 2023 that we have to make an adjustment for in 2024. Number two, we're providing for police overtime due to court coverage, and this is coming from a discovery grant that we received in 2023. The police overtime that the chief is requesting is $7,200. Number five, I'm going to skip down. This providing for police interview room recording system is also coming from this discovery grant that we received. The discovery grant was $18,899, so he's asking to use those funds to cover both the overtime and this interview room recording system. Back up to number three, we're providing for police vehicle repairs from an insurance check that we received for $1,717. Down to number six, we're transferring from miscellaneous expenses in the general fund. Number seven, we're transferring for the 2024 engineering consultant expense. This is coming from, we budgeted in 2024 for a full-time employee in the engineering department. That hasn't happened yet, so we're transferring the money into the consultant line for the remainder of the year. If we do end up hiring somebody in the engineering office, we can transfer that money back or discuss it then at that time. Number eight, we're transferring for highway admin salary, benefit, and expenses. This is the admin staff, which is the highway, the deputy highway superintendent, and the admin staff. Also transferring for the benefit expense because the new highway staff has different, whether it's family coverage versus what was previously there, maybe had individual coverage. So we're just transferring those costs. Number nine, this is recording the encumbrance forward. Last, I guess it was last meeting, the board voted on the encumbrance, bringing that forward from 23 to 24. So this is just a budget revision, moving those funds forward. In the highway fund, we're transferring for temporary staff expense. We're moving $30,000 into a temporary staff expense line. This is coming from a general repair compensation reserve line that I set up last year. That is going to bring that temporary staff line to $50,000, I believe. I believe that's what that is. That will be for the summer staff in the highway fund. Also in the highway fund, we're providing for 2024 highway machinery capital expense of $650,000 and providing for 2024 highway drainage capital expense. Both of these are coming from the highway capital fund that we set up. We had, at the end of 2023, we had $1.5 million that we were able to put into that fund, and we're pulling money from there for the machinery expense and the drainage expense. That's still going to leave us with $650,000 in that capital fund balance. In Carmel Fire Protection District number 1 and number 2, we're recording the encumbrance forward for the dry hydrant expenses. This was also voted on by the board last month. I think it was last week. Number 15, in Carmel Fire Protection District number 2, we're transferring to cover the Mahopac Volunteer Fire Department liability insurance expense for a period of from 1/20/24 to 4/1/24. This amount of $47,640 is being deducted from their quarterly contract payment per the authorized contract resolution that was passed by the board. Carmel Garbage District number 571 and 572. We're taking money from the fund balance for both of these contract amounts. There was an increase in the units in both of those districts. So when we did the budget in 2024, we didn't know of those increase in units. So we did have to increase the garbage contract by $5,500 in the regular residential garbage contract and $12,700 in the cluster garbage contract. There's been, I think with this cluster especially, there's a lot of developments, developments going up, so townhouses and things like that. So there was an increase in that. Carmel Water District number 5, transferring for emergency Myrtle Avenue pump repair of $5,000. Carmel Sewer District number 6, transferring for a TSS meter of $3,000. Carmel Lighting District, providing for the purchase of replacement street light. This is coming from the fund balance in that district of $6,000. In the drainage capital project, this I spoke about before, we're moving $200,000 from the highway fund into the capital drainage fund. In the FEMA project capital funds, we're providing for $50,000 in engineering expense. This will be eventually reimbursed by FEMA, but we're moving money into the engineering services line to cover those costs. In the highway resurfacing capital project, $750,000. We are going to be borrowing those funds, so we're recording in the 2024 capital authorization. And sewer district number 5, transferring for capital equipment expense. And Carmel Water District, this is a new capital fund that I set up for the lead service line capital fund. We did not have the funds in the water districts to cover this cost, so we did have to borrow that. So this is just basically providing for the project capital costs from the approved borrowing. So that's all I have for
So we should be getting the lighting,
now.
I guess I can ask the engineer when he comes up. We should be getting that from the car accidents. The lights that got whacked, yes, Rich has put his
One got hit by a,
county truck.
yes,
What, wasn't the other one struck also?
yes, it was struck by a vehicle.
But we
One
just,
hit by a car, that's going for insurance, that actually is going to be put up in the next few days. The other one was hit by a plow during the February event.
right. So the county will pay for that.
The driver will be going and subjugating them.
Is that the one in the fire department's parking lot?
That was the car accident.
No, not us. Fire department one is the fire department one.
This is in front of St. James and the other one right on the main street by the music store. Yeah. Thanks, Rich. Thank you,
Okay.
Mary Ann.
Well, if we do get those funds, then they will obviously go back into the Carmel Lighting District
Yeah,
as a revenue, so. Okay,
thanks.
thank you.
So our second item is, oh, thank you, Craig. Our second and third is Nina Kalmeyer, Director of Parks and Recreation. Consider new appointment to the Recreation and Parks Advisory Board and to reappoint someone to the advisory committee.
Good evening, Board. How you
Good
guys doing?
evening, Nina.
All right, so we have two recommendations today. Our first recommendation is for Lindsay Jones. We are recommending that the board appoints Lindsay Jones to the Recreation Advisory Committee. Lindsay is an active member of the community and is very enthusiastic about contributing ideas that would help make a positive impact on recreation. She actually came to our last meeting to sit in, and she's super excited. She has 2 kids in the community, local family, and we are hoping that we can get her to join our board. And our second, we would like to recommend reappointing Mike Mongon to his position on the Recreation and Parks Advisory Committee. He has been on the committee since June of 2018, and his term is up. He's a dedicated individual who provides knowledge and experience and who really has served as a vital role to the committee. At this point, without Mike, we have 5 members on the committee, so we're really looking to add numbers, get more people there, and get more people involved in recreation.
Sounds good.
Any questions?
Thank you, Nina.
So you want them to call Recreation or email you people that are interested?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And they could send us a resume, and then we'll bring that in front of the Recreation Committee. We usually do a little interview with them at one of our meetings, and then if the committee thinks that it's a good idea, we'll move it on to you guys.
And while you're here, let's plug that the vendors are wanted.
Yes.
Right,
You want me
for
to
your
go through a
farmer's
little
market?
spiel here? Recreation? All right, so we got a few things coming up. Next weekend, the 23rd, is our annual egg hunt. That is going to be at the Airport Park, and we're super excited to be changing the location this year. It starts at 12 p.m. sharp. It's for children up to second grade. We're going to have it on 2 separate fields this year. So we will have the kids separated. The younger kids will be up on one field, and the older kids will be on another field. We have the Rotary will be doing lunch for us that morning. I think they're going to start at 10 a.m. So that'll be great. We would love to have the board there. Any extra help, support is always welcomed at Recreation. So if you guys are available, please come and help us. And we're excited to see the public. It's going to be a great event. We have a few things up our sleeves, so it should be a really good day. And if for whatever reason we do have to cancel or reschedule it, it will be posted on the website, on our social media, so look out for that. We're hoping for good weather for next weekend, but sometimes it does happen with spring weather. So that's what we have coming up in the immediate, and then we are looking for vendors for our farmers market. We have a nice pool of vendors right now that are going to be joining us for the market that starts on May 7th and goes to October 20th. But if anybody's looking to be a vendor at the market, we're looking for artisan vendors, craft vendors, and anyone in between. So reach out to Recreation. We can send you guys the application, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So next up is our Highway Superintendent, Michael Stern. The first item is disposal of obsolete equipment, car 8, truck 56, and then request purchase of parts for truck 58 for $11,929. Sir.
Good evening, Board. Again, I'm requesting the authorization to dispose of 2 vehicles. Supervisor Cazzari, you probably drove car number 8. That was an old PD vehicle. So that one has basically outlived any further inspections, we'll put it that way, any safety inspections. So we're going to have to take that off the road. And truck number 56, which is a 2000 Mack, the backhaul. So of the 3 that we were talking about that we had in-house, that one is now obsolete. And we have the sweeper, which can convert, but is our street sweeper, and another one. So we are down 1 backhaul now and looking to dispose of them. We can't buy parts for the 2000 anymore. You can't get anything for it, so it has to go. Secondly, requesting the authorization to purchase an impeller with necessary parts for our 2011 Freightliner backhaul from Long Island Sanitation per the attached written quotes. These are the only 2 vendors that are provided, that were able to provide them in a timely manner. Long Island Sanitation came in the cheapest, $11,929 for the impeller setup. And we're just looking for authorization for that. That way we can get out and sweep the roads. It has to be done, yesterday. So that's what we're looking for. All right. Any questions?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you guys for all your support, and have a great night.
Thanks for coming. So the next 3 items are with our town engineer, Richard J. Franzetti. Rich, first to consider request repair for Carmel Water District Number 2 in the amount of $15,076.56.
Thank you, Board and Supervisor. On February 2nd, Infomark, the operators of Water District 2, notified the engineering department of a water leak on Route 301 proximate to Belden Road. It was determined the water main had a circular crack. There's an invoice for Cook Excavating in the amount of $15,076.56 to make the repair. There are sufficient funds in the budget for that repair. The second one I have is currently we're under the chemical supply. I'm asking that we go back out to bid. It expires around July 19th, 2024. We put these out every year as for chemicals for water and sewer. We're going to be over the GML threshold of $20,000, so it has to go out to bid. And right now, we're serviced by Slack, but we put it out to a whole bunch of other companies, and whoever comes back as the lowest bidder, responsible bidder, we go with. Any questions on any of the first two? Sorry.
Nope.
So as the board, the next one is East of Hudson Watershed O&M invoice. Town of Carmel is a member of the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation. It's made up of 19 municipalities, Dutchess, Putnam, and Westchester counties, as a regional stormwater entity in response to heightened phosphorus requirements under the New York State DEC stormwater regulations. The East of Hudson administers and installs regional retrofits with funding made available by the DEP, the county, Putnam County, and some of the DOH. Member municipalities are collectively achieving compliance through bubble compliance, regardless of the physical location of the retrofit. There's a policy that's attached to the memo I provided, which the town adopted in February of 2016, where each town has to maintain the SRPs, the stormwater retrofits. Due to public compliance, the town is required to pay for O&M based on the overall phosphorus reduction, not just for those SRPs installed in the town. And the East of Hudson provides the O&M for the SRPs located in the town. So there's an invoice from the East of Hudson Watershed Corporation for $26,021.12 for the O&M performed in 2023. There are sufficient funds in the budget for this expense. And there's the O&M status is 10 years of phosphorus reduction goals is 919 kilograms. We have 144 grams, or 16% of the total of the East of Hudson. There are 16 stormwater retrofits installed in the town of Carmel for a reduction of about 50 kilograms, 34% of the overall town's goal. The 2016 resolution that I mentioned before is what the town passed. The engineering department performs semi-annually inspections with the labor costs provided back to East of Hudson, and the O&M is performed by Putnam County. So it's recommended that we pay that. So,
Thanks.
any questions?
We're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the ninth item is to consider renewing the contract for an online auction company that the town has been using, Auction International. I believe that the Highway Department was taking the pictures and doing the work for us, along with the Police Department. So the obsolete vehicles, like the Highway Superintendent mentioned, will go on the auction site, or it'll get junked. But if it goes on the auction site with other obsolete equipment, and the Highway Department has brought in thousands of dollars in the past for pieces of garbage that they sold on that, so thank you very much.
I wouldn't, if I were you, I wouldn't do the advertising for us, but anyway. Everything has a worth to somebody.
Yes. And then the last item that we have is that we need to adopt the organizational chart. It was updated. You all have it there, and it's in the backup in case anyone wants to see it online. We need that for the auditors. And that's all of those things. Comment-wise, that was really a great parade, well attended this weekend. And the only event that's coming up that I want to mention is that the VFW Post 5491, they'll be having their 5th annual Vietnam War Remembrance Day at the Post on East Lake Boulevard at 11:30 on Friday the 29th, and Ray Callahan will be the detail commander. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have something for Matt Slater. March 26th, Assemblyman Slater will be hosting Vietnam Veterans Day up at the Capitol. If anyone is interested in going up to Albany for the day, we are looking to secure public transportation there and back. You can reach out to myself or Assemblyman Slater's office directly. Myself and my grandfather went last year. It was a great time. We had lunch. We got a tour of the Capitol. It was fantastic. So If anyone is interested, please reach out to Assemblyman Slater. That's it.
There are 2 more weeks left for the Knights of Columbus Fish Fry up in the Hamlet. So go online, and there, like I said, there are specials as well. So just it's this week and next week, and that's it. There's no fish fry on Good Friday. The other thing is the legislature is in session again, and what I'm suggesting that the board put forward for the 3rd time, the bail reform resolution that we've passed in the past. Doesn't take much to open up the paper and see that a lot of the crimes have been been committed by those repeat offenders. And it's time for this failed experiment to go away, and hopefully another resolution by 37,000 people in the town of Carmel will maybe persuade. So I'm asking that next week that resolution be put on again.
Perfect.
All right?
Good.
Thank
And just quickly, I just want to give everybody an update on the master plan. We are actually at the finish line, pretty much. We have one more meeting left to continue reviewing the planning board comments as well as the zoning changes. After that meeting, which will be held at the end of March, we will put it out for the public hearing, and then after the public hearing, it will go out into a vote and hopefully be voted on. So I just wanted to give everybody, it's been a very, very long process, and there'll be more to come, but I just wanted to give everybody a quick update. One more meeting, and then it'll be coming back out. Hopefully April, possibly May, but, all right.
So we're going to go into executive session, and we have contract retention, some personnel, another contract retention, and some vendor services to discuss. So can I get a motion to go to executive? All those in favor? Aye. Good night, see you on the 20th.